Hey there boys and girls, welcome back to Indian Motorcycle of Cajon's YouTube channel. Today's video is all about the Super Scout. This is the brand new 2025 Super Scout. So we're gonna go through some of the specs, we're gonna go through some of the features, we're gonna go through what makes the Super Scout a Super Scout as opposed to the rest of the models. This way you're just more well informed. Hopefully this helps you decide which Scout is better for you. And just to let you know guys, we ship everywhere throughout the entire country. So no matter if you're seeing this in Florida or Washington or Texas or in California where we are, we can definitely get things taken care of. So let's get started, let's go. So first and foremost, the new 2025 Scouts, there were a lot of changes. Namely, we're gonna start with the engine. This is the new Speed Plus engine, 1250 cc's. This one's gonna be 105 horses. They're all gonna be 6 speeds. You're also gonna get the steel tube frame as opposed to the old cast aluminum frame. So you have something that's built with balance, something that's built with power, and honestly just pure efficiency, which is hitting all the marks, right? The Super Scout in particular though is built as your miniature touring option. So this is gonna come with saddlebags, with a quick release windshield, with a passenger seat. We'll go over all this stuff. But a quick note is the Super Scout is only gonna come in the Limited Plus Tech package. The other models, you might get the option of a standard unit or a limited unit. If you want to know what those features actually are, I showed them in other videos. But this is going to have every feature available for the Scout lineup, whether you want it or not. So, 1250cc Speed Plus engine, full 6-speed. Again, built for balance and overall just a general comfortable riding position. You'll notice the exact same handlebars on the Scout Classic, so it's a nice pullback handlebar. You're not raised up, you're not leaned forward. Most people are gonna be sitting fairly upright as they're sitting, and your hands are gonna be nice and controlled, exactly where you want them for a normal cruiser position. Forward pegs are always gonna come on these Scout models, but there is a new addition of mid-control pegs. Puts you right about here, give or take. Those of you that aren't exactly reaching top shelf will definitely appreciate that one. All right, so let's start off with the front end over here. So first and foremost, I want to point out one of the cool quirks and design features of the Super Scout. One of them is going to be the contrast cut feel of the engine. So this is not going to be completely dipped in chrome like a Scout Classic. It's also not going to be completely blacked out like a Scout Bobber or a Sport Scout. This is a really cool middle ground between those two style designs where it's chromed out enough for you to show off to your friends, be nice and shiny on the road, but it's not so dipped that you spend hours and hours cleaning it. So that's one really cool thing. Another is going to be this retro paint design. This only comes on these Super Scout models, but if you have any love for the old school way of doing paint designs, this is the call out for that. You'll notice right here, this is gonna be your air intake. Your intake's gonna be underneath your gas tank. And then you'll also notice a smaller radiator in comparison to some of the older models from back in the day. So the old Scouts were really large with that giant chunky radiator. This is more efficient, so it doesn't need to be nearly as large as the old stuff. The wheel is gonna be a 16-inch spoke wheel. And then of course you're gonna get your standard features for the new Scout lineup. So that's going to be ABS as a standard. It's going to be LED headlights as a standard, and it's going to be finally the inclusion of a fuel gauge. That's exactly what we needed. This windshield here, the way that it pops off is you'll notice a safety screw on the back on both sides, on both forks. Once this comes out, you just pop the tab right here on both sides and the whole thing comes right off, stored in the garage, stored in your bedroom, whatever you need. And when you do go on those longer rides, you can throw it back on or just leave it on forever. Now up on the left-hand side, there's also quite a few things going on. Up in front, right underneath your frame, is your USB port. On some of the older models, it used to be on the right side of the gauge. Now it's directly underneath your frame. Also, because this is a Limited Plus Tech package, this is a push button ignition, not a keyed ignition, which means you're gonna get a key fob. You're also gonna get your passenger pegs and your passenger seat, as well as your saddlebags. Now, saddlebags, I do wanna point out, they're hard bags. They're not locking hard bags, but they are hard bags. Leather bound hard bags. That means they're not gonna implode on themselves. If you have to store this out in the sun, it's still gonna keep its shape the entire time. And they're pretty large, I'm not gonna lie. One more thing with these hard bags is that if you want to add these to another model, whether it's a Scout Bobber or a Scout Classic or whatever it may be, you are going to need this bracket in the back. You need to relocate your turn signals because they get in the way of where your turn signals are. So this giant thing you see in the back here that holds your license plate, this is a requirement for these bags for now until somebody comes out with something different. Now this is going to be your cockpit. So first and foremost, let's talk about your 4-inch Ride Command digital display. So this is going to have all the information about the bike, about your travel, everything jam-packed into this tiny 4-inch Ride Command display. So we're talking about navigation, we're talking about vehicle specs, we're talking about things like your average MPG. It's going to show you your contact list, who's texting you, who's calling you, all the information you need jam-packed into this tiny little digital display screen. If you want to learn more about that, click the link right here. That way you can go step by step through all the individual screens. So there you go. That's the difference between what a Super Scout is versus the rest of the model. So just as a reminder, it is the exact same engine, the exact same frame, the exact same specs. It is going to be the Limited Plus Tech package. You are going to get the quick release windshield. You're going to get the saddlebags. You're going to get the passenger seat with the passenger peg setup. If you're looking for something that's easily manageable, something that's nice and low to the ground, something that gives you the ability to travel long distances and actually bring stuff with you without spending extra money on parts and accessories, this is it. This is the one for you. So if you have any other questions, comments, complaints, threats, give me a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to explore something else or want me to dive deeper into what I just talked about, please let me know. I'm more than happy to share all the information. Other than that, yeah, call us at 619-328-1901. Okay, that's all I got for you. Love you. Bye.